What is going on, House Edge? Welcome back to round two of the college football bowl mania, picking every single bowl game. How are you doing, Rob?
Doing good, doing good. We're early into bowl season. Um, Only two games played, but 1-1.
Yep, I'm recording this on Tuesday, December 17th, and the Memphis game is coming up tonight. I have Memphis, and Rob has the over from our last episode. We'll see how that goes. But getting into our picks for today, the first game that we're covering is the Cure Bowl in Orlando, Florida, between Ohio and Jacksonville State. That's Ohio Bobcats. I'm going to be taking Jacksonville State plus 3.5. I think it's going to be a close matchup, but Ohio used all their gas to blow people out at the end of the season. Just 3.5 points is too much for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on the other side here. I'm gonna be taking Ohio on the money line, minus 140. Uh, they have a great rush defense, and Jacksonville State doesn't really want to pass. They're sitting really low at 32% pass rate in their play calling. So I think that puts
Okay.
Ohio's advantage.
Yeah, and Ohio looked really good in that championship game. Shout out Timothy Chalamet for cashing that one. Uh, Taking so in the next game that we have here, it is the Gasparilla Bowl in Tampa, Florida, between Florida and Tulane. I'm taking Florida. I'm taking them to win by 13 and a half. They're just a much better team here. Tulane fell off at the end of the season, losing to Army, who then went and lost to Navy. I think Florida's going to blow them out.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I have Tulane plus 13 and a half. Word on the news is that Tulane's first and second string quarterback will be out of this game, but I'm going to take Tulane with the extra points because they have a former 5-star recruit sitting as their third string quarterback. Who would have thought Tulane has that type of firepower? This guy only lost out at Oregon to Bo Nix and Dalen Gilbert. So maybe they got some dark horse talent down there, and I'm gonna take it with the plus 13 and a half.
Okay, that's interesting. Still think they're going to get blown out. It's SEC competition.
Yeah. The
Um,
defense is still playing.
oh, that's true. And for our third game, this is where we're starting off the college football playoff picks on Friday, the Notre Dame Indiana game. I'm taking Notre Dame. I'm taking the points as well. I think Indiana is in over their heads. They showed us how good they play against good teams in the OSU game, the Ohio State game. And Notre Dame, they've been really good since that Northern Illinois blunder.
Yeah, I agree with you that Notre Dame will win this game. I have them ultimately winning it. But Indiana is going to cover 7.5 points. They had a much better show, a great showing against Ohio State. And I think that Ohio State's better than Notre Dame. This team has been scoring all year. I think they're going to continue to score at a high level. 7.5 is way too many points.
You said they had a good showing against Ohio State. They had a good showing for one half.
And they sustained it. It's less than a 7 point loss.
That's true.
And also, how have we not been giving Notre Dame slack for that schedule? I look today, there is not a scary team in sight on that schedule. They should be
That's true.
undefeated.
That's true. If it weren't for Northern Illinois, they would be.
I think the second best team they played may be Virginia.
Yeah, nobody
That's probably
has
not true,
has
but
talked trash on Notre Dame's schedule, which that is confusing. I agree. They don't have to play a conference championship either.
yeah.
And our
Indiana.
yeah, okay. Both teams in Indiana.
True.
I'm taking for our next game between Penn State and SMU. You guessed it, Penn State 8.5 point favorites. I think this is actually going to be a blowout. We're the much better team. I think James Franklin will finally show up on the big stage. We have more talent. It's just SMU's in over their head.
Yeah, I like Penn State to win this game. that 8.5 does scare me with the amount of points that SMU is capable of putting up. So I'm going to just take Penn State on the money line here, and I'm going to parlay it up with this next play that we have.
And speaking of that next play, sticking to the favorites in this college football playoff, Texas 11.5. This is the one that scares me the most, but I trust Texas more than I trust Clemson, and Clemson has only won a fluke ACC championship against a team that we're not sure is good, SMU.
Yeah, same situation with the Penn State game. I love the favorite here in Texas. Been taking them on a money line, parlay that with Penn State. You get minus 155. 11.5 points is way too many points against Clemson, who may just be a little hot. And then the way we've seen Texas play out their last game against Georgia, I'm a little worried. I got to see them.
Agreed. And the last game of the playoff, we're in agreement here. We're both taking Ohio State 7.5 point favorites over Tennessee. I've seen a bunch of people picking Tennessee as like a dark horse to make it to the playoff final, and I think they are absolutely nuts. I do not see Tennessee making it to the final. I don't see them getting past Ohio State either.
Yeah, I'm also taking Ohio State, taking the points minus 7.5. I can see why people think Tennessee is going to be this dark horse in this playoff. When Tennessee is on, they're one of the best teams in the country. The problem is they're most of the times they're not on. Nico is a turnover machine waiting to happen, and I think Ohio State's defense cleans up on that.
Yep. Agreed there. And our next bowl that we have here is the Myrtle Beach Bowl in Conway, South Carolina, between Coastal Carolina and UTSA. I'm going to be taking Coastal Carolina plus 8.5. UTSA, they're favored because they had some momentum at the end of the season. This is a home game for Coastal Carolina, basically. I think they can even pull off the overall upset.
Okay, I like that one. I'm going to be taking the over 55.5 for this game. Both of these teams are allowing over 30 points a game. This is going to be a shootout. They're playing against similar level competition all season. I can see this being a 60-point game.
I can see that as well. Yeah, good pick. And our next game is the aforementioned Northern Illinois. I think they're what are they, like the Wolves? The Wolf Pack or something?
Yeah, the Huskies?
Yeah, the Huskies. Yeah, I think you're right. Against Fresno State in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl in Boise, Idaho. What a miserable place to go play your postseason bowl game in. But anyway, it's Northern Illinois minus 2.5. They've shown that they can show up on on the big stages, and riding that Notre Dame win.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking Northern Illinois minus 2.5 as well. Riding that Notre Dame win. I mean, they have the best quality win of any team of that caliber.
Yeah, exactly. Don't overthink that one.
Absolutely.
And the next bowl we have on the list is the Hawaii Bowl. Now that's the bowl you want to go to instead. In Honolulu, Hawaii, between South Florida and San Jose State. We're both in agreement here. We're taking San Jose State, and we're taking them to cover the spread. I think they're a much better team, and Nick Nash, his showing on the big stage, he's going to show why he should have won that wide receiver award over Travis Hunter.
Absolutely, that's a bit of a snub. Just because he's a Heisman doesn't make him the number one wide receiver.
Agreed.
I'm going to be taking San Jose State. South Florida, they look like they have some trouble with third down and red zone situations. And those are the money downs. I'm going to be taking San Jose to cover here.
And our next bowl on the list is the Game Above Sports Bowl in Detroit, Michigan. At least they're at Ford Field and they're inside, between Pitt and Toledo, where we have opposing picks here. I'm taking Toledo plus 7.5. Just such a disappointing end to the Pitt season. And it's too many points. I don't care who they're playing against. That team just completely collapsed at the end.
Yeah, for that reason, I'm going to be taking Pitt minus 7. They've been a great team all year. It's time to bounce back and end your season off on a high note against Toledo.
Yeah,
I got this.
Ever since that SMU win, they've been abysmal. SMU lost rather.
Yeah.
And the next bowl we have is the Rate Bowl in Phoenix, Arizona, between Rutgers and Kansas State. We're both in agreement taking Kansas State -6.5. I think they're the better team here. They almost played in the Big 12 championship. And I mean, the Big 12 does kind of suck, but yeah, I'm still taking them, and I'm taking the 6.5 spread.
Yeah, I'm also going to be taking Kansas State -6.5. I've had a betting philosophy of not betting on Rutgers this year, and it's worked out so far. So keep it
Yep,
rolling.
it's Rutgers.
It's Rutgers at the end of the day.
And the last bowl game we're covering today, the 68 Ventures Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, between Arkansas State and Bowling Green. Now that's a barn burner. I'm taking Bowling Green -6.5. Don't really have any reason for it other than Harold Fannin Jr. I want to watch him, and I think he's going to ball out. I think he should have won that best tight end in football award over Tyler Warren. I think Tyler Warren's the better rounded player, but best tight end, Harold Fannin Jr.
And for this game, I'm going to be taking the under 50.5 here. I think Bowling Green goes out there and neutralizes Arkansas State's offense, and I don't think they can cover the points themselves. So I'm going to take this under here.
If you remember early in the season, Bowling Green gave Penn State probably the most trouble they had all season in the game that they didn't lose.
It's a stout defense.
Yep. And that rounds out our round 2 of games. We got one more round coming to you next week, and then 2 more after that, which is the semifinals and the finals. So good luck on your bets, and we'll see you that time.
Peace out.